Yes, I'm ready. I cannot believe that I'm saying this, but welcome back to Keep It Rio. I think the question that I receive a lot of my social medias and a lot of people that watch this channel is, where have I been? What happened to me in this last 3 years away from the channel? Well, let me just summarize a little bit. I ended a relationship of 6 years. I booked a lot of commercials, traveled through Europe, party with vintage culture, Fisher, got in the best shape of my life, kept traveling because that's my toxic trait, and then booked more commercials, booked a reality show, went to France to shoot that, and was on billboards all over town and New York and Vegas, and then I got really depressed. So I think we have a lot to catch up. So let's rewind. First things first, it's been exactly 3 years that I haven't posted. Not exactly, because the last video I think was June or July of 2022, and we are in 2025. But it's been exactly 3 years that today it's August 17 that I got out of this relationship that I was on. If you guys saw some of my videos, I think I showed a little bit of my ex-partner, which is we're fine now, but we'll get into it. So that was a big change. I would not say that this breakup was why I stopped doing the YouTube or why I stopped it. It definitely was because a lot of change happened. One of the things is I moved out of my own apartment, but we'll get there. So what you should expect in the channel is I'm gonna pretty much summarize in this video what happened is 3 years, and as videos comes out, I'm gonna deep dive in each kind of topic and be very real and raw with you guys, because I think that's very important. And I'm still gonna keep showing my traveling, my acting, everything as career that has changed, and my life in Los Angeles, if I'm gonna still live in Los Angeles, because we don't know. So stay tuned, subscribe, because there's so many amazing things, and I'm so excited to be back with the channel. But let's get back into it. Let's get right into it. So August 17 of 2022, I found out my ex-boyfriend was cheating on me, and we broke up. As a strong, independent woman that I am, I was like, dump his ass. Yeah, it wasn't that easy, but that's pretty much what I did. And right after that, it was really hard, but it was necessary, because we were in this very toxic, dependent relationship for 6 years, and it was just enough. It was enough. And ironically, 2 days later, I got a call that I had booked a commercial back in Brazil. So I had to fly to Brazil, and it was right before his birthday, and we had this trip planned for his birthday. So instead of celebrating his birthday, I was actually working, booking a commercial, making money back in Brazil. So I was like, this is a sign that this is the right thing, and it happened such a flip. Right after that, I went to Brazil, visited my family, worked, and when I came back, as a toxic trait that I have is whenever things get hard, I book a trip. And I still do that. It doesn't matter how many years has passed, I still do that. And I booked a trip to go to Europe, and it was the best time of my life. I think it's the craziest shit happened. I got mugged. Not mugged, but I had my stuff lost and stolen in Mallorca. I partied with Fisher and vintage culture in Ibiza, went to Oktoberfest, got really fucked up, hooked up with a guy. So many things. This is an open and safe space, so I will be sharing details with you guys, and I don't give a fuck. Another thing, so right after this is end of 2022. When I got back to LA in October, that's when the breakup really hit me, and I was like, okay, well, this sucks. It's started to get cold here. It was the winter. And I just found my passion through boxing. And that's when I got in the best shape of my life, getting that body revenge, because honestly, that's the best thing to do when you break up. You just look hotter, because you, not even for the ex, but just for yourself. because when you go through a situation like that, that's just like, you just gotta, I had no choice of like, I need to love myself. So I was finally like taking care of myself, and I started with, working out in my health. My lease, for who doesn't remember, I lived by myself in this beautiful apartment in Culver City, and that was my little baby and, my first apartment by myself, and, things were rough and it was getting more expensive, and I was like, I don't think it's worth for me to be paying that rent. So I decided to move out exactly December 31st of 2022. So I became homeless. Okay, not homeless. That's exaggerating, but I put everything that I had on a storage, and in January, I was living with my friend. We were sharing a 1-bedroom in Venice, and it was the worst winter we had here in LA. It was raining all the time. I went to acting class because I was like, I needed something to distract myself, and, focusing on my career was like something, like I was in that self-love journey. So that was like the main thing that I wanted to do, was just not working on my body, but working on my craft. Because I feel like when you're in pain, beautiful things come out. So after that, I was living with my friend, and then I had a ticket to go to Brazil February 1st, where I was going to spend my birthday, carnival, and, finally go to summertime and get the fuck out of the cold, because it was so cold here. So I went to Brazil for a month. So I was like, I have a place to stay. I don't need to pay rent. I have food at home. So that's going to help me save money. And then I'll figure out my living situation later. It was amazing. I was enjoying carnival. Where's my script? It was a great time until I found out that my ex was there, and I was like, I'm ready to punch this motherfucker. But it's sure. Thank God I didn't run into him, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. So when I was in Brazil, I was planning on coming back here in February. I actually had to come back here because my friend was gonna shoot a short movie, and he was like, you need to be here. And I was like, okay. So I gotta leave Brazil to go work and get back to life. So I was like, shit, I don't know what to do. Like, am I probably gonna stay at one of my friend's house? And 2 weeks, I think, prior to that, it used to be my friend, but one of my friends called me and was like, hey, like, we're getting a big house. It's gonna be like X, Y, and Z. It's gonna be cheaper. It's like with my friend, then we're gonna rent the other 2 rooms, all this whole thing. Anyway, I live in a house now. 5 bedrooms, 4 floors, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathroom, garage, everything on it. But, I was gonna come from living by myself to living with 4 people. Even though we're all Brazilians, I was like, oh shit. I mean, the beginning, it was all amazing, like we are all Brazilians, so we became really friends. And I think for the time in my life that I was in it, that was very important, and that was what I needed, because it really helped me break through my codependence and emotional part with my past relationship. And, like, it was my support system, like the house was fun. I never felt alone. I mean, it's impossible to live with 4 people, but that's what it is. I started dating again, finally, like after being wild and free and crazy. I did date I wouldn't say better, but different, crazier, different guys. I don't know. LA dating is just something else. And I was just like, maybe, like that 3 months rule never passed by 2 months. So I don't think to today I had a relationship that lasts more than 3 months. Crying. Que mais? So I was just, living my life, 2023, trying to figure it out. And I was still working as a server at the rooftop in Venice Beach. And I was traveling. I went to Tulum finally back in June of 2023. And then in July 2023, it was July or August. Around that time, I started my applications. They recruited me at my work for a reality show. And I'm like a month later after the process, I was on a plane to shoot this reality show all the way in France. And I don't know, it was such a crazy and amazing experience at the same time, even though it doesn't matter what experience I had in the show. Like, it's something I'm very grateful, and I'm gonna do a whole video all about that. So don't you worry. So make sure to subscribe so you know when that video is out. But I'll be telling you all the teas that you guys want to know. After that, I met up with my friends that live in Europe. Some of my friends that was in LA, they travel to meet up. So we did a Euro trip after that. And that was my last time in Europe, but we're going back this year, okay? 2 summers ago. I didn't go last summer because I was depressed, but we're going this summer. When I got back, so how the reality show worked, we didn't know when it was going to air. We had to keep our mouths shut. People could not know that we were that we just did that. So I pretty much just like, I took a social media break. So it was really weird living that extravagant, knowing that you have such a project coming up, and I just had to go back to my normal life and pretend that nothing happened and just like go back to survey and just like, and all these questions is like, is this going to bring me opportunities? Am I going to be able to retire my trade? It's like, am I going to be able to, I don't know, have another source of income and everything? So it was a lot of anxiety in waiting for that to come until like the end of the year, right before the end of the year 2023 to 24, they released our names, and I finally could tell the world that I was gonna be on TV on Hulu, Disney Plus. Anyway, so it was very interesting because a lot of people that I didn't talk to started reaching back, and I'm not a dumbass, but it was really fun. As the show was getting closer, I was gonna turn 30. So February 5th of 2024, it was my 30th birthday, and I did a 13 going 30 birthday party team, and it was one of the best parties that I had until the end. I'm not gonna lie, I suffered trauma during that night, which one day I will be sharing here, but because of legal family shit, I cannot share yet here, but it's definitely gonna be there. It's gonna be out one day. That was such a transformation and important time in my life because it was only 2 months away before the show was gonna air, and the show was gonna be on TV, and it's a reality show. I knew that I had to focus. That was gonna be a big, I had to ride the wave as much as I could because, whenever the show stops airing, it's not like we're gonna have a season, I didn't know if we're gonna have a season 2 or not. I just had to ride the wave in the moment. So I pretty much just put that, and I was just like, I'm not gonna let anybody or anything tell me otherwise or get on my way to do what I'm supposed to do to get where I want. So I just put that pain in a Pandora box. Is that how I say it? I always said like that. I just kept focusing, and it was such a anxious moment because when you're in a reality show, you don't know what kind of cut they're gonna make. You don't know what they're gonna put. You don't know what kind of storyline. You don't know what kind of character they're gonna make you. And you just start questioning and thinking. And I was like, I don't even remember anything anymore. But the excitement, we got flew to Disney World to do some advertisement and some marketing. They had billboards all over town and in Vegas and in New York. So it was really fun to have friends and cousins visiting in New York and be seeing my photo on the subway or on Times Square, or seeing my face on Walk of Fame. And that was the moments that I was like, shit, did I make it? Did I just made it? I mean, and then you just start questioning and getting excited. It's is this my breakthrough? Is this a moment that I can finally stop being a servant? Am I gonna, I was excited for the opportunities that I was expecting, maybe, because you start thinking about that. And, I think we should be prepared for the good and the bad, but always with the positivity and, things are gonna work out as supposed to be. Well, it didn't really work out the way I wanted. I'm gonna tell you because I'm still working in the fucking nightclub, but it still pays. I'm very grateful for my job anyway. But spoiler alert. So the show came out. It wasn't as successful as we expected. And I think that was a lot of frustration too, from a lot of the cast members. And their expectations, with the whole marketing and everything, we were just is this... Anyway. So after that, after all that high, after all going to the events and going to all this PRs and being invited to all this cool parties and everything, even though I do like those parties, but I just had a imposter syndrome. I was like, do I belong here? because I didn't sometimes had a +1, and I was like, I just realized that mentally I was not well. So I think that's another thing that didn't help me maybe get the opportunities that I was expecting to it, because mentally I was not well. I think after 2 months of the show airing, I just went from this to I crashed really hard. Like, it was I would say that I was depressed for like 8 months, like from until the end of the year. And I think I only just like got better. Like, I would seem better. I would go out. I was still like, my summer of last year, it just did not exist. And for me, it's like my favorite time, like, not going to the beach. It was just like something really hard, and not traveling, not doing anything. I stopped working. I had quit my job, not because of the show, but because they would not let me take time off to do the things I had to do for the show. So thank God I had like saved money. I was living through unemployment and didn't exist during that summer. I just was staying in bed and not doing anything, and definitely not the proudest moment I have in my life. That's not exactly what you want to be doing after you are on TV, right? That's definitely not what I expected, but I think it was such a necessary part of my life, because I had so much growth and perspective in life, and what I want and who I want to be and who I am, and the people that are surrounding me. So I don't regret it. I mean, there's no choice. I was depressed. There's not something that you choose. It just, happens. And after going to therapy and psychiatrist, and I went home to be around my family and a lot of work, I got up. Man, I think it's still like nowadays, I still have bad days. I still like question myself, and this is not my first time that I'm trying to do this video, trying to come back, because that was hurting me. I could not be in front of a camera. Even I was in a reality show and having cameras 24/7 all over me, I was like, I could not feel good in front of a camera. I could not be sitting down and having an honest conversation with you guys. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I couldn't sit down and record an audition, and couldn't do like an Instagram story or anything. And I was just like, damn, it's because you don't feel well. So like, I was like, this is, I'm not gonna, when it wasn't what I was feeling. So, I'm talking a lot, So yeah, a lot has changed and passed and happened the last 3 years, which the next videos I would dive in each chapter of my life, where the real, the raw, and honesty. And you should be expecting in this channel a lot of traveling, lifestyle, acting, hair transformation, voice talk, and much, much more. And what has changed here in LA? What is a change in my life? What is the next future? Thanks for being patient, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Oh my God, I did it. I'm so happy. It feels good.